Hi everyone, this is Mahmushek, and from past few videos I have been working on developing a lecturers management system using PHP CodeIgniter AJAX and jQuery. In my last video I completed the functionality of deleting users post, and in this video I will discuss about updating the password by the logged in user. Okay, so before starting this functionality, I just want to tell you guys that if you like this video, click on like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you will get regular updates of my upcoming videos. Okay, so now here you can see whenever user wants to update their password, change their password, then the user needs to go to this drop down where they can find the change password, and when I click on the change password, this page gets popped up where the user will get the text box where they can enter their existing password, and they have to enter their new password, and once again they need to enter the new password. Okay, so here if the user tries to enter some incorrect existing password, then I'm displaying error message to the user. Okay, and let me just show you that. Okay, so this is not the existing password, so I have just wrongly written the old password, and I will enter the new password. Okay, so now when I go for updating the password, then it will display me a message as you have entered wrong current password. Okay, so now I will enter the correct old password, and now here again in the new password and confirm password also we need to check both this new password and confirm password, both of these things has to be matched. Okay, okay, so now this new password and confirm password didn't gets matched, then we should display a message, I hope I had entered the wrong password. So now let me just enter the correct password, and here I have entered the wrong confirm password. Now let me just check it out here. When I click on update, now it's saying that new and confirm passwords do not match. Okay, so we have to work for these validations as well. So that all these things we'll be going to discuss in this video. Okay, so for developing this functionality, first we need to go to our editor. Okay, so here you can see I have opened 3 of my files which are required for this functionality, which is user controller and user model, and then change password view. Okay, so now in the change password view, and we want one more file which is the header. Okay, now let me just find change. Okay, so now let me just come to this change password view. So here you can see I have just taken down the same HTML markup which I had written in my earlier videos, because whatever you can see on the left side, which is the card profile card, the coding for this card is exactly same whatever we have discussed in our previous videos. Okay, so you can take the coding for this card from any of the page, because that one thing is remains same in each and every page. Okay, so now let me just come here. So from here, this first row, and here you can see I have started an if, and that here is the else, and that if gets ended here. Okay, and from here I have created another column of 9, and then a panel, and then a panel heading as change password, and then panel body. Okay, inside the panel body I have created a form, and to this form I have given an ID as update password. So this ID I'll be using in my jQuery code whenever I'll be making an AJAX post request to the server for changing the password. And then here I have created another div where I have created a text box with old password label. Okay, and to to this I have given a name as password, id as password, okay, and class as form control. And then I have created another text box for allowing the user to enter the new password, and then I have created another text box for allowing the user to enter the confirm password. Okay, and now at the end I have a update button, and to this update button I have given an ID as btn update password. Okay, so now here you can see I have written the jQuery code. So here I'm using the ID of the button which I have shown you here. See, btn button update password. Okay, so whenever I click on this update button, I am making or generating an on-click event. Okay, and then I'm taking the object of the form, and to this I'm passing the ID. You can see here I have created the ID of the form, and that ID I'm passing to here to this form. Okay, and then I'm taking the password, existing password, new password, and confirm password, and storing those things inside this variables. And then I'm checking for the emptiness. What if user tries to click on the update button without entering any data inside the text boxes? In that case, I want to display an alert message to the user as please fill all the details. So now let me just refresh, and when I click on update button without entering any data in these text boxes, then it will display me this error message. Okay, next, if the user has entered all the data in all the text boxes, then I'm making an AJAX post request to this URL, to this function update password which I have created in my user controller. Okay, and I'm passing the data along with the post request. Then control will come to this user controller file. Here you can see I have created an update password function. Okay, so before coming to this update password function, so now let me just tell you about this function as well. Okay, so now here I have created a change password function in my user controller which is taking the ID of the user. Okay, and this function gets executed whenever user click on this change password link. Okay, so this link I have created in header PHP file where you can see controller and the name of the function, and with this function I have linked the user ID. I'm taking that user ID from the session. Whosoever user will be logged in, that user's user ID I have attached to the URL which you can see here, the ID2, which is the ID of this user, and I'm taking that ID from the session variable. And okay, now whenever user click on this change password link, okay, a request will be sent to the change password function along with the user ID, and the control will come to this user controller where I am taking the personal data of that user from the table, and I am passing the personal data to this change password view. Okay, and in the change password view here at the top you can see I am displaying the department designation and the image of the user, and as well as I am taking the username from the session. So now when user click on this submit button, which is update password, as I have said, I am making an AJAX post request to this update password function which I have created in my user controller, and here I am taking the data user ID from the session, password, new password, confirm password from this request. Okay, all the data I am receiving here, and then apart from taking the data from the user, I am also checking whether the password which user will be entering inside this old password text box is already present in the table or not. Okay, whether it is already existed in the table or not. For that I have written a get current password, and I am passing user ID of the logged in user to this function. Okay, so now here let me just come to my model. So here you can see I am taking that specific row of the logged in user. Okay, and that row I am returning from this function, and here I am checking and I am storing the details of that row inside this password. and with that password I'm checking whether the already existing password is same with the password which user will be entering inside this old password. Okay, so if user has not entered the same password which is already been registered inside the table, then I will be displaying a message as existing password doesn't match. Okay, then if the user has entered correct password in the old password field, then I will check if the new password and confirm password are same or not. If they are not same, then I will display a new and confirm password do not match error. If both of them gets matched up, then I will be making a call to this update password function, and I am passing new password, confirm password and user ID of the logged in user to this update password function which I am receiving here in my model. Okay, so now with that data I am updating the password in my TBL users table. So if the data successfully gets updated, if the password successfully get updated, then the control will again come back to this user.php file, and from here the responses will get sent to this view inside this jQuery code. Here the control will come inside this success. Okay, so if the data successfully gets updated, then I will be displaying the message as passwords updated successfully, and the moment when I update the data, the text boxes value gets cleared out. Okay, so now this is everything about developing the functionality of changing the password of any logged in user. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood whatever we have discussed in this video, and that's all for this video, and I will see you guys in my next video with some other functionality, and thanks for watching.